Hey there, fight fans. Today in this video, the UFC has finally answered the question of who is the most significant and legendary fighter in the organization's history. An updated pound-for-pound rating has been published, in which Jon Jones deservedly tops the list. Now, one fight in 3 years allowed him to surpass Alexander Volkanovski, Islam Makhachev, and some other very worthy contenders. Later in the video, the amount of the fee that Jones received after a 3-year hiatus was a slap in the face for Makhachev and Volkanovski. The UFC's decision to bring Jon Jones back to number 1 in the pound-for-pound rankings has sparked a lot of controversy and discussion. In addition, Islam Makhachev's only motivation was to become the number 1 in the pound-for-pound rating. But now even a second victory over Volkanovski will not be enough to rise to the top. A heavyweight title fight between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic is expected to be the main event of the International Fight Week in Las Vegas in July. And then at the end of this video, Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic, well, now that is a great fight. But the fans wanted to see fights between Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou. But unfortunately, this fight is not destined to be seen. According to Ngannou, he regrets that the fight with Jones did not take place. But is there a chance the fans could ever see this fight? Well, let's take a look. Interestingly, before his fight with Ciryl Gane, Jones was repeatedly asked about his prospects of reclaiming the top spot in the pound-for-pound rankings. But Bones assessed his chances fairly modestly, saying, "I don't think I should skyrocket to the top of the rankings and take the first spot after one win. These guys have been working, performing, and fighting while I've been away. I'm fighting for something bigger. I'm fighting to be the best fighter of all time." Also, the amount of the fee that Jones received after a 3-year hiatus? Well, it was quite a slap in the face for Makhachev and Volkanovski. It has emerged that Jones earned $7 million for that one fight. And let's remind ourselves that fight of the century, Islam and Alexander's bout, was positioned. The fighters only earned half of that amount combined.
Is he fucking awesome?
Now with this, the UFC showed their love for Jones knows no bounds.
Ciryl Gane is a monster in great physical shape and everything else. Jon Jones went in there and just treated him like he was a little kid. So I think he is the level. I don't know if there's any other level higher than Jon Jones.
And as far as Islam Makhachev is concerned, the UFC's decision had a big impact on Makhachev's chances of becoming the pound-for-pound number 1. And after the dirty history and accusations, Islam's only motivation was to become the number 1 in the pound-for-pound rankings. But now, even a second win over Volk will not be enough. So will he and his team be forced to look for other ways to rise to the top? Now, of course, pound-for-pound ratings is just one of many indicators of a fighter's success in MMA, and its value does not always reflect reality. But nevertheless, for many fighters and fans, this rating is kind of a benchmark that allows one to judge the significance and legendariness of those who occupy its top lines. But who's next for Jon Jones? Well, let's be honest. Jones has no heavyweight rivals. In light heavyweight, he could defeat anyone. Stipe Miocic? Now, even though the fight has not yet been officially booked, the bookmakers have already published the starting odds for the fight, Jon Jones versus Stipe, and at the moment, the odds for Jones to win are 1.278, while Miocic's success is estimated at 3.95. Now, the heavyweight title fight is expected to happen between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic during International Fight Week in Las Vegas in July. And despite the fact that the bookmakers have absolutely no faith in Stipe Miocic, the former UFC heavyweight champ has no doubt that he will be able to beat Jon Jones and regain the title. "Will I win is not a question at all," Miocic said in the next edition of the MMA Hour program. "Yes, I know he has never lost. Sucks, but this time he has to lose. This is not my dream, this is a fact. This will happen." At the same time, Miocic admits that Jon Jones' lightning victory over Ciryl Gane came as a surprise to him. "I was leaning towards the fact that Ciryl would win. I said that if Ciryl could stay on his feet, he would tear Jon apart. That being said, I assumed that if Jon managed to use wrestling, it would be a long evening for Ciryl, but I wasn't prepared for what I saw. Whoever wins, I thought it was going to be a big 5-round war and a decision. I was definitely wrong." Miocic also confirmed that the fight with Jones should take place on July 8th at UFC 290 in Las Vegas. Yes, they said that it would be July and that they would send me a contract soon. As the new UFC heavyweight champ Jon Jones has expressed his confidence in his upcoming fight against Stipe Miocic, as according to Jones, Miocic will not last more than 3 rounds against him. He has faith in his abilities and believes that the next fight will be amazing. Now, while Jones respects Miocic, he also suggests that Miocic take a long vacation and not focus on his work as a firefighter. Jones is determined to become the greatest heavyweight of all time and will give everything to achieve this goal. Now, although Miocic is heavier than Jones, Jones believes that weightlifting competitions are not what will determine the winner of their fight. Jones is confident that he will not only beat Miocic, but finish him off before the championship rounds. Most fans wanted to see the fight between Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou, but unfortunately that fight is not destined to happen. According to Ngannou, he regrets that the fight with Jones did not take place and does not believe that in the future they will be able to share the cage. That is an interesting fight that I would like to have, but unfortunately we are in different places. That fight didn't happen and probably never will because he has a long-term contract with the UFC, which means this fight will never happen. Now, as the heavyweight division continues to evolve and new contenders emerge, the possibility of a Jones-Ngannou fight may seem increasingly remote. However, the allure of such a clash remains undeniable, and it's hard to imagine that the possibility of the two facing off will ever be completely extinguished. Until then, fans will have to contend themselves with speculation and fantasy matchups, just imagining what could have been if two of the sport's greatest talents had ever met in the octagon. Now, it is possible that Jones will again decide to take the light heavyweight belt after several defenses, as he can go down a category in a few more years. The champion can compete in several different weight categories, so the main thing is that Jones does not start to act like a clown and get into trouble all over again. So that is all for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because it is very important to us, and thank you all in advance.